Super Singer, how do you think Star Wars should continue with the films? I don't know, because they've just created such a messy place for themselves where there's no momentum there. There's a lot of bad blood where fans don't trust them anymore. No one across the board loves the new trilogy, the sequel trilogy. There's people that love Last Jedi. There's people that love Force Awakens. There's people that were excited for Force Awakens and slowly lost interest throughout the trilogy. Besides my son, who was 7, 8 when he saw Rise of Skywalker, no one else loves that film, and I don't know if my son would continue to love it if he watched it now. And so they kind of developed a story where people are like, I don't really care about where you took all of that. Who cares? So I don't think the future is after the sequels with those characters. That doesn't seem like what people would be excited about. So what do you do from there? Well, I kind of like the idea of telling more stories in different types of stories and not feeling like every story needs to be a $200 million blockbuster. But we're kind of already doing a little bit of that with the TV shows. So when you're cranking out so many shows, it kind of steals the excitement for doing a movie doing that same concept. But, Star Wars has always had certain inspiration from Westerns and Akira Kurosawa samurai films. So you do that again. And you do a movie that's just kind of set on an obscure planet. $50 million budget. And it's the Magnificent Seven with a Jedi. That's cool to me. Like, tell a story that's detached from all the stuff we normally know. Maybe it's set during the Imperial era, but it's not about the Empire. It's about this Jedi that survived and has gone off and doing his own thing. Tell a story set 200 years before. You can set it. The time period doesn't really matter. Just find some excuse as to why you have a Jedi that's lost his way and ends up recruiting a bunch of talent to save a village from raiders or something like that. Magnificent Seven Samurai. You tell those sorts of these pocket stories, and I think you do a couple things that make people excited again. And then you find a window where you can do another hero's journey, a full epic hero's journey. And I don't know what that time period is. They're doing stuff with the High Republic. I don't think you can do that during the Imperial era, Clone Wars, original. I don't think that's the time to do it. But you find some window in there where you can tell another story of this person that's discovered to have incredible potential and is incredibly important, but do a different version of it. Don't do a rehash of the original trilogy. You just go back to the same archetypes and mythology and find the new journey in this world with space wizards and laser swords. There's such a rich, robust world. And when you do that, don't get 3 people. Don't go out and go, who put out a hit movie this year? And let's hire all these 3 people to do movies. No. Get someone with a vision. Whether that's partnering up a writer with a director, whatever that looks like, but get people with a vision to tell this trilogy of stories, this epic journey in the world of Star Wars, where you explore mythology again and big and epic. But I think you probably need to start small. $50 million. Look at Prey and how that, what that did for the Predator franchise. How do you do that for Star Wars? Where you do something that's true to the world, has the stuff that you love, but it's smaller in size. Earn respect back, and then get someone and trust them to make a trilogy and do it right. Map it out from the get-go and tell this big story. I don't know what time period. That's for that person to decide. That's not for me to decide. And you tell this epic story once again using these tropes of mythology throughout history that seem to be shared. A hero with 1,000 faces, all that Joseph Campbell stuff. Do that again. But not a legacy sequel, not a copy and paste. We don't need a new Death Star. But learning in the broad sense. In the same way that Harry Potter uses those tropes and Lord of the Rings. All of these things that just, these certain timeless tales that appeal to such a broad audience. go back to all of that at some point in time. Most of these clips are pulled from my weekly Patreon live stream. Join at any level and you can join the chat and ask all the questions you want. That's for as little as $2 per month. For $5 per month, you can get your name on my end card. For $25 per month, you can have a monthly video chat with me. Link is in the description for more details, and keep talking movies and TV too much.